Let's talk about picture frames. Yes, literally empty picture frames. Dr. Nathan Mellor, who's one of the most grounded and thoughtful humans you'll meet, once walked into a store, bought 2-degree frames, and went home to continue working on a degree he hadn't even finished yet. No parchment, no robe, no graduation cap, but the vision and a frame or two. Now, some people might call that impulsive, but here's the thing. ADHD brains are brilliant at future imagination and sometimes struggle with future implementation. But Nathan's move was simple but genius. He made the goal visible, tangible, and present. He gave future Nathan a front row seat in the form of a frame or two. And spoiler alert, he didn't just finish that degree, he finished 2 while leading a busy organisation, raising a family, and navigating life with a neurodivergent brain. So let's unpack this deceptively simple ADHD strategy. Visualise the win. What it means, why it works, and how you can use it to stop procrastinating and actually move forward. Welcome to ADHDifference Strategies, practical tools for beautifully different brains. I'm your host, Julie Legg, author of The Missing Piece and diagnosed with ADHD at 52. This is a companion to our main podcast, ADHDifference, where we explore lived experiences of ADHD. But here in Strategies, we focus on what works, how to make it stick, and the science behind it all.
Because being able to visualize what could be gives me something to then pursue. But I was determined to do it. And so I think it was the second week of class, I went to the bookstore and I bought the frames that the degrees would go in when I earned them. And I had those on my wall from that point forward in anticipation of it, because I needed to visualize it to be able to imagine that it could be done. And I would say that that's been something that has been helpful for me, because being able to visualize what could be gives me something to then pursue.
Okay, why it works. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Knowing what to do doesn't mean you'll do it, not when you have ADHD. You can want something badly and you can know exactly how to start, but your brain still hits snooze. It scrolls TikTok and rearranges your spice rack instead of sending that email. Why? Because ADHD is not a problem of intelligence. It's a problem of activation. And one of the biggest culprits is a thing called temporal discounting, where future rewards don't feel real. That big life goal, that book you're writing, that side hustle, it can feel vague, distant, and emotionally disconnected. Nathan's trick, visualizing the win, flips that. He brings the goal into the now and he makes it real, and that gives the brain something to attach to. And here's why it's powerful. You get emotional buy-in. Your brain starts to care. You create a reference point, something to come back to when you feel lost. You shift from I should to I want, and that is gold for motivation. It's not just a good vibe, it's a neurological nudge. When to use the strategy? Well, this isn't just for big life goals like degrees or businesses. It's for everyday momentum. Here's when to pull it out. You know the task, but can't get moving. Try this. Picture how you'll feel when it's done. Relieved, proud, lighter. Let that emotional preview help you start. If you've lost your why, we've all had those days, you start questioning everything. Why am I even doing this? When that hits, visualize what success looks like. Reconnect with your purpose. You're halfway through and tempted to quit. Instead of spiraling, zoom out. Picture the win. Picture yourself getting through this rough patch. that image can shift your mindset from stuck to steady. If you're facing a scary, boring, or overwhelming task, don't fight the task. Make the outcome louder than the resistance. Whether it's studying, confronting, decluttering, or launching, visualizing the result helps you reframe the task as a bridge, not as a burden. How to practice it daily. Let's make this easy. Buy the frame, literally or metaphorically. What represents the goal? Is it a diploma frame? Is it a folder with your future business name on it? Is it a printed template for your new schedule? Give your goal a physical presence. Pre-decide the win each morning. Ask yourself, what does success look like today? One thing, one win, one image. Rehearse the ending. Before a task, spend several minutes picturing it done. The send button clicked, the dinner made, the awkward conversation over. Let your brain run that scene. Create visual cues. Leave reminders in sight, notes, objects, alarms. Your ADHD brain forgets what it can't see, so make the future visible. Time block one step. Don't plan the whole mountain. Just carve out 30 minutes for one foothold. If it's in the calendar, it's more likely to happen. Celebrate the mini wins. This one's important. It's not about the final end of the project. It's about the little mini steps along the way that you can celebrate too. Because when we notice what's working, even tiny increments, we train the brain to look for momentum, not just mistakes. Now for the science behind it. This is where things get juicy. Mental imagery isn't just daydreaming, it's actually cognitive rehearsal. And studies show that visualizing a task like running a race or giving a presentation activates many of the same brain regions as actually doing it. So when you picture the win, you're not just fantasizing, you're training. A 2011 study found that participants who vividly imagined themselves reaching their goals were significantly more likely to follow through. And then we've got time blocking. When you pair visualization with simple structure, like putting the goal on your calendar, you reduce overwhelm, boost clarity, and cut out the 47 decisions that often stop ADHD brains from starting at all. Combine the vision with a container, and suddenly your brain has a path. Visualizing success isn't delusional, it's deliberate. It's a powerful ADHD strategy that helps bring the future closer and makes action feel more possible. Nathan's approach is a reminder that you don't need to hustle, you need a hook, something to keep your ADHD brain emotionally connected to the goal, even when your energy, motivation, or focus dips. So ask yourself, what does your picture frame look like? Can you see the win clearly enough to start? And if not, maybe today's job isn't to do the thing. Maybe it's just to picture it, to imagine the moment you finish, and let that be your first step. Because once your brain can see it, it's way more likely to believe it and to follow through. A big thanks again to Nathan Mellor for sharing this strategy and for being part of the broader ADHDifference conversation. If you'd like to hear more from that episode, head over to our main series. You'll be looking for Season 1, Episode 37, to hear more of his ADHD journey. Links are in the show notes. Thanks for tuning in, and for more practical tools for beautifully different brains, hit the subscribe button.